Good morning everyone and welcome back. So this morning it's our last herd test for the season. It is our fourth one. Last season we did 3. This year I've taken it back to 4 because I think we sort of get more accurate records from it. This one's quite important though because we are drying off the cows in about sort of 3 weeks, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and the results that we get from this one are going to reflect how many cows we dry cows. So anything over 150 for a cow or 150,000 on the sow count will get dry cowed, and every 2-year-old, that's first milker or first season milker, anything over 120. So that's what these milk samples are going to tell us. Pretty handy, this thing. They've all got barcodes on the cups or the milk sample containers there, and then I just put in this little app what cows are in the row and scan the number onto the barcode like this. I used to write them on with a pen, and you always used to get like a couple of double ups, or I always did. Whereas this way is so much easier because it tells you on the spot if you've already put that number in, which is pretty handy, and it just saves having to do anything with a pen because it can get smudged and just makes life so much easier. We also will get like the information around production with these samples, but the main one we're looking for is sow count at this time of the year. All finished, now it's just time to have a bit of a clean up. Samples are all there ready for collection. I've just been down and shut my cows in there just over the little hill there. I also got Nell dog while it's there to give her a run. Hey Nell. Dad's just finished washing up, and then we can dismantle these milk testers. It's really just pulling pipes off and then sliding them off the top there, stacking them up for the people that come and get them. I'll give that a pull. Definitely easy with 2 hands. Everything's all stacked up nicely, ready to be collected. We also had our shed inspection yesterday. That's when somebody comes and has a look through all your records and like around the shed, plant and equipment to make sure everything's sort of top notch, and we passed that with flying colours, which is awesome. There's a few little things that I need to improve on for next year, and that is just a couple of the paperwork side of things. Like, it was all there, I can just make it easier for next year, which should make it easier for me too, so that is good. It's good to get that one out of the way. Time for a bit of breakfast, but this was left at the shed. Dave must have dropped it off. We didn't see him yesterday, but maybe we should be looking more into something like this. I was saying we need to probably use a little bit more nitrogen and grow more grass. Well, maybe this is a way to do it, and the whole concept is pretty much dissolving urea in water and then sort of spraying it onto the plant leaf, and it gets absorbed that way instead of the soil. And it pretty much just means that you're using less nitrogen as well because you're doing it at like a lower rate. So maybe it's something that I should be looking into the winter. We have actually got a sprayer that we can use for this. I think it's only got about a 600 litre tank, but at least it is something, and we don't have to go out and buy anything. Oh, the nozzle's missing off the back. It's just got a big nozzle that sort of sprays out, one out that way, one out this way, and then maybe a spray along the under it too, possibly. So we do have this that we can just tow around with the gator, or the little tractor maybe might be better. Got it because usually we do put on a bit of vermicast and seaweed mixture that we get off one of Dad's mates. It's real good stuff. Over in the bay we go and pick it up, but we haven't put it on for the last couple of years. I think Dad's also put urea through that, so we know that it works. It's just, I think, like granular is quite easy. You go and pick it up, you put it in the spreader and off you go. Whereas when you do it in a sprayer like that, you've got to water it down, you've got to mix it, which takes a bit of time. But then the positive is that you don't have to be quite so time sensitive with rain, because it's getting absorbed by the leaf rather than into the soil or the roots. You can sort of put it on and it doesn't have to rain, you know, within sort of 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever it is. So definitely a few there, and also you use less of it, so that's a plus too. But yeah, something to think about anyway. Heifers are just up there, and what I was going to do today is run them into the cow shed and leave them in there for maybe an hour or two. So just to get used to the sort of yard surroundings. I was going to leave everything open, so if they wanted to come through the shed, or maybe we'll push them through the shed at the end, but they can just wait in there for a while, get used to everything, and make it a little bit easier once we do put them through for teat sealing. Heifers are just here, which is ideal. I put them in this paddock last night or yesterday because it's pretty much right next to the shed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run them on and just leave them in the yard for maybe sort of an hour, 2 hours, maybe like an hour and a half. I haven't fed them today, but my plan is to just bring them on, put them on so they get used to the environment, the surroundings, leave everything open so if they want to run through the shed they can. We'll probably push them through at the end, like they're going to make a heck of a mess in here, but that's alright. It just makes it easier when we do teat seal them, because we're doing that in a couple of weeks. It just makes them easier to get them in. I was thinking this year I do want to tag them before they calve. Usually I just tag them once they calve and they come in sort of slowly. I just do them on the day. But I thought maybe it'd be nice just to tag the whole lot before, so they're all done, just saves a job. I was also thinking maybe I should probably trim their tails. I also do that once they calve, but it would be kind of nice if they're going through the winter with nice trimmed tails. Makes it easier once they do calve. Yeah, I suppose I can think about that, but to do that we have to line them up here, sort of 5 or 6 at a time, and putting fresh heifers in the shed that haven't been in here before is an absolute mission. So it worked last year. We ran them through about 7 or 8 times before the girls came and did it, and it worked perfectly. They said they were one of the quietest heifers that they'd done, which is definitely a good compliment. So that is the plan for today. Whoop. Come on, steady. I'll just take a little cut in first. Hopefully the rest follow. Come on, Ed. Oh, look at that. Perfect. They're going around. Oh, look at that, easy as. I've just shut these so yeah, they can go right round, do the loop inside. Not that they probably will, but at least they'll get used to being in the yard there. The main reason I'm putting it through is for that teat sealing, but we did find last year when we came to milk them at their first milking or first sort of couple of weeks, they would just go through the shed so much easier. Usually heifers stand at the back of the cows, you know, the cows will come through because they're used to it, but the heifers will sort of stay right till the end and then they'll come through. And it's a little bit of a battle getting them in sometimes, but we just found they were so much easier, so definitely works, or it's worth it. A little bit of mucking around. I'll leave them in there, like I was saying, probably an hour and a half, and then give them a graze. And I was planning to put them on the annual today too, so I might do that. These girls are on the move too, onto the new grass for a couple of hours, probably 4 hours today. Just a bit nervous to put them on here straight from the morning. Like, I've fed them a little bit this morning before putting them in here, just through that nitrate poisoning. I just want to be a little bit careful. I think they might be right. This will be their 4th break of it, so tomorrow I'm thinking I might just put them straight in there in the morning and hopefully they'll be right. They're getting pretty well fed at the moment, so it's not like they're going to go in there and gorge themselves. Well, I don't know, gotta think about that one. Weather forecast said it was supposed to pour down this afternoon, like periods of pretty heavy rain, and it doesn't really feel that way, but geez, it is so warm at the moment. Like, it is unreal, which is really nice. Like, I was wearing a jacket before and I was almost sweating, but I'm back at the shed now. I'm going to run these girls through. They've probably been on here about an hour. I'm going to run them through probably twice, and then they can just go in that little paddock right there. They can sort of just take it down a little bit, and then I'll shift them this afternoon onto some annual over there. It's getting pretty long, so it does need grazing. Hopefully it doesn't go too bad. I've left both sides open, so they'll probably pick one and run down it, but all I need is just for one to make a start, and then they should follow. Come on, girls. There we go. There we go. Come on, have a look. Look at that. Perfect. I'll just sort of stand here and stop them piling up as they run through. That's what we want. Handy if they went down the other side too, but we'll get there eventually. Oh, look at that, perfect. They went alright for the first time. It should get easier now that they've been under the shed roof. That's the thing that stops them the most. Come on girls, I know there's not a lot of space there for you. Round 2, I've let 4 out the front through this side, and then I've put the chain up to make them go down there. I thought that'd be a little bit easier than trying to start them all down that side, but they seem to be going alright. I'd say that was pretty successful. I'd say totally going to play it by ear, but probably do that for maybe like the next 3 to 4 days, and then I might start locking them in the row so they get used to sort of being confined and next to each other, and we might try and walk up in front of them maybe too. Like, they're going to make a heck of a mess and poo everywhere, but it is worth it. We're also going to keep them nice and close, so they're going to the annual paddock, which is over there. It's pretty easy to get them in and out of there as well. Hopefully we don't get heaps of rain and the weather plays ball, which will make it easier or make it tidy around the gateways. They're not going to make too much of a mess. Well, I guess I was wrong. It definitely looks like it's set in for a little bit. It's not raining too heavy, but it was before. I'm weighing it up, but I'm thinking I might not put them on that annual today. They might make a little bit of a mess. It's supposed to rain like this through till sort of late tonight by the look of it now, so maybe I'll just put them on another grass paddock next to the cottage. Yeah, there's a paddock there. I can give them half, then half tomorrow, and then nice and close to the shed, and then they can go, or have the other half, then go to the annual. So maybe that's the plan. I think after this lot, it's not looking too bad. So yeah, maybe that's the way to go. Come on, get gillies. It's all cleared up now. Funny sort of a day. Still going to put them in here though, just to be safe. This is the break I'd set up for them, so you can see how sort of thick it is. It's starting to fall over, so it's getting pretty bulky, so it needs to be grazed off. I'll run them in there tomorrow regardless of the weather. I think it just needs to be started. But that will pretty much wrap it up for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thumbs up like always, and see you next time.